First off, let me just tell you a little bit about me. I said president of the Industry Council, but I also am a supplier diversity manager and community relations manager at San Jose Water Company. So through my role at San Jose Water Company, I'm always looking for diverse businesses, small business as well. And I have some items here up front that feel free to come and grab them at any point in time. I've got a flyer here that oftentimes people who are out and about in supplier diversity will see me wearing a California Water Association shirt. And they'll say, oh, you moved your company. You're not working for San Jose Water Company anymore. That's not true. So San Jose Water Company is part of it's not a consortium, but it's a group of like water companies that get together under the umbrella of California Water Association. So many of us who do supplier diversity in the utility water industry, we just formed this group because we're always searching for similar suppliers. Many of the suppliers that we all look for are construction related. Probably just about half of the suppliers or our spend is construction related. So this tells you what the California Water Association is. So pick that flyer up and you can learn more about that. Also, if you're a supplier that would like to do business with San Jose Water Company, I've brought this as well, and it's a registration card. So I ask you to register. One of the things that I know is difficult is if you meet 100 companies, oftentimes you're going to be asked to register for each one of those companies, and I know that's a drain, so I'm trying to do my part. The reason we went with this company called Avasar is because if you register for our company through Avasar, other companies like San Jose Water Company will be able to see that profile as well. So pick that up and register to do business with us. I'm going to use that as one of my main methods of getting your information in front of my decision makers. I have two sets of cards up here, a card for the Industry Council and a card for San Jose Water Company as well. So stop by and pick those up at your convenience. So now, I think what I'd like to do is go through self-introductions, and I'd just ask you to stand, talk a little bit about you very quickly, and if you're a board member, please make sure that you mention that. And we'll start with this table here.
Hi, my name is Megan Welke, and I have a small IT company here supporting small businesses and large corporations. We are women-owned, certified women and minority-owned business, small certified DGS California. I learned I have to say that as well. For small businesses, we are your outsourced IT. We manage everything in your office and help you with your IT. For large corporation, we can help you with projects. We can help sell you solutions, whether it's hardware, software that you need. So I'm also on the board. I'm the CIO for the organization, helping out with all the techy stuff. Megan Welke, CMIT Solutions.
My name is Lenny Lund, and I am with a lifestyle company. We are all about vacations, helping business owners as well as individuals get away to rest their mind, relax their body, and come back home so much more creative and fun on the job. I am a guest of, I have Indu and Machen to thank for that. And also a little bit about me from my past. I'll make it very brief. I was an office administrator with a $13 million budget, a couple hundred employees, a federal budget, state budget, nonprofit budget, lots of balls up in the air. You know, what do I do with this money and so forth. So it's a pleasure to be here and to meet so many lovely professionals. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Johanna Lyman with Lead Like a Coach. We help companies unlock the hidden potential of their team members in ways that improve profitability, sustainability, and culture. I'm the speaker, so that's all I'll say for now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lavelle Jones. I'm the president of Northern California Disabled Veterans Group. We help disabled veteran companies move their company forward from anything from a newly disabled veteran to $5 million companies. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christina Chung, and I am a risk manager and helping companies to manage the risk for profit.
And she's on the board.
I'm also on the board. I'm an event person.
Hi everyone, I'm Kay Ring. I'm with Talent Burst. We are an IT and life sciences staffing company based in Boston. And I'm here as a guest as well. It's my first time, so I'm looking forward to learning more about the organization and meeting everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Melinda Burns with Parlay Enterprises, and my company is a promotional products company. We help incentivize your employees and your customers, and look at my opportunity. And we're also minority women owned. I'm on the board with doing PR, and welcome everybody. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Jaiti Goyal. I'm a co-founder of Nidan Systems. We are an IT consulting company. We help corporations and companies to streamline their software development process. And I'm also on the board as a VP program, and my responsibility is to bring the great speakers. And I have a wonderful board who helps me find those people. And I'm going to say a few things about why you have to join the ICSBD. There are lots of new faces. That's I'm doing it for the last few months now. I always say everybody's talking about the employees, everybody's talking about the clients. They say client is right, you have to take care of employee. How about me? Who's taking care of me? Where do I hang my jacket or whatever you said? So I found my tribe here. This is my tribe. I meet them, everybody here. And I made really great friends. Those who support me. So now they go out and advertise my business. They bring the opportunities for me. So if you are thinking about becoming a member, maybe, so this is your chance to become a member today. And Mark will talk about it more. If you become a member today, you will get one free luncheon from ICSBD. Thank you.
Board member. Commercial.
Hello everyone, my name is Raymond Aoyong. I'm the project director for the Minority Business Development Agency. It's a non-profit that's funded by the US Department of Commerce, and we have 42 centers in the nation, and I'm glad to see that we have 3 clients here today, which are clients of MBDA, got invited by Megan. What we do is that we focus more on procurement, primary procurement, number 2, access to capital, exports initiatives, and also assist clients with opening their markets on a global basis. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Mark Alvin. I'm the membership chair, so if anybody wants to talk about membership, has questions about the organization, I'm the guy to talk to. So as always, I like to applaud the board members. We're all volunteers. If you do join today, you can get a free lunch. So sometimes you hear there are no free lunches. Today there's a free lunch. That's my membership pitch. Thank you for your commercial and the organization. My day job is Alvin Engineering Services. We do engineers, hardware, software, mechanical, and civil engineers, staffing and projects. A good referral for me is a hiring manager who's hiring and having trouble and wants help. So with that said, have a great lunch. Work out.
Hello, my name is Will Hart. My company is called Smart Simple Marketing, and we help corporations to gain market share and deepen loyalty with small businesses, minority-owned businesses, and women-owned businesses. Will Hart with Smart Simple Marketing.
Good afternoon, I guess. My name is Chuck Mollett. I'm a CPA. I've been a member here for a few years and really have enjoyed working with this group. This year coming up, my plan is to try and work with the clients that we have and look for new clients who have cost accounting problems. I was looking through our stuff as we finished up the tax return. And what I'm noticing is so many people now are using things like QuickBooks or OS accounting or whatever, and the chart of accounts are set up for a service company. They just use the standard chart of accounts. And if you're going to be around for a while and you're going to need some accounting, cost accounting type stuff, which starts for all of us. Okay, how much does it cost to open your door in the morning? That's what I want to know. And I certainly don't see it in the clients that I come through. So my thrust is really going to be for cost accounting this year.
I used to work in cost accounting.
good, I need you.
I'm Sue Baker. I'm a small SBA certified small woman-owned business. So if you're doing a job and you need women-owned credits on your project, come to me. I have 2 environmental remediation products. One, and I brought the brochure today, slippery floors, slippery tubs, slippery showers. And this time of year when we've got water going to be everywhere, apparently we're going to get as much as 3 inches over the next few days. It becomes important because if people come into your business, they slip and fall, the costs to you go beyond your insurance level in most cases. And I am a member of the board. I'm a secretary for the board. I've been part of this group for probably at least 7, if not 8 years. And I met my marketing person through this group. He's been with me since 2011. And what can I say? This gives you benefits beyond what you dream of. So, thank you.
Board member.
Yes, it is.
Good afternoon, folks. Michael Chang, former Lockheed Martin, past president ICSBD, currently teaching as a professor at Foothill College. Former board member.
Good morning. My name is Glen Perkins, and I run Renaissance Executive Forums. It's a peer advisory board for small to mid-sized business owners. I provide a safe, confidential place where business owners can learn from each other, and they can grow both professionally and personally and make a positive impact on their businesses. I also host a quarterly peer advisory board for the corporate members of ICSBD, where quarterly they can come together and learn from each other to improve the way that they can work with and get their small business partners, get the credit that they need for their government contracts and the like, and also solve some other types of problems that they have. So glad to be here. I think this is my 2nd year as a member of ICSBD, and glad to see the room full.
Thank you for your help with the roundtable.
Hi, my name is Carlos Reza, and I am an advisor with the Small Business Development Center. I am enjoying assisting businesses from very small or just a thought all the way to larger sized companies find their place in the world and get traction.
Good morning. My name is Dennis King. I'm a first-time guest. I wanted to say no.
Yeah, right.
It's been my honor to be the head of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Silicon Valley and the director for both of the small business development centers that serve Santa Clara County. We essentially provide access to each other, access to information and resources to grow your business. With your permission, if I can pass these around.
Absolutely.
Gives a little bit more of a story. What I really wanted to, Michael was being very modest with his contribution over the decades of his involvement here. There is another wonderful champion that I was going to defer to, is right here, is Bob Thompson.
Thanks, Dennis. My name is Bob Thompson. I'm with Lockheed Martin Space Systems Company, and we manufacture keys for the gateway to space. I'm very happy to be here. I'd like to be more active and involved. Michael Chang is a former colleague of mine that has been past president. We both have been past president.
Yes.
So, great organization, and we're continuing to grow. Thank you.
How's it going, everybody? Curtis Walker with Hillview Design Print Media. We are the printer you can count on from design to delivery. Whether your idea is just in your mind, trying to get something started, or you're a corporate entity who already has your advertising budget in place, we can help you to grow your business. Small, large, everything in between. Located just south of San Jose in the Coyote Valley. We don't like to say Morgan Hill because people think that's too far. We're in that dead space between Bailey and Cochran. We're there. Come see us. It's beautiful.
It's not dead
There's a golf course.
There's a beautiful golf course in that dead space. Absolutely.
Design course.
So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for having me. Hillview Design Print Media, Curtis Walker.
How about a joke today?
On the on the spot. Okay. Does everybody know how to tell the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
No.
Depends on whether he's gonna see you later or after a while.
Hi everybody, my name's Audrey Lam and I'm an account manager at Alden Engineering Services. So I too am looking for hiring managers who need our help. Thanks for having me.
Judy Davis with Alden Engineering. We deliver the people essential to your success.
Hi everybody, my name is Indu Jayakumar. I'm from Local Biz Network. My business specializes in web software, websites, and internet marketing and Google advertising. I am also a board member. I am the marketing director, and I am responsible for the brand new website, ICSBD. We're going to go live this evening, so all of you please test it and give me feedback. And I'm also looking to spread the word about ICSBD. I've been a long-time member, and if you have any speaking opportunities, please let me know. Thank you.
About the LinkedIn also?
Oh, LinkedIn, yes. Thank you, Jayati. We have a wonderful LinkedIn page for ICSBD. Go to linkedin.com and search supplier diversity, or if you want the address, it's linkedin.com/supplier industry-council. What I was going to say was there are literally like hundreds of supplier diversity managers who are linked with us, and it's a great forum to be in and actually connect with all these wonderful managers, actually. Okay, so
And
please,
small business owners.
and small business owners, but please connect with us. Thank you.
I'd like to take a second to give Indu some recognition for the website. It's going to go live tonight.
Yes, yeah.
She and her team have done a heroic event and interfaced with a lot of people, with a lot of people's input, and you'll get to see it tonight if you go. I don't know what time it's going to go live.
Can't go live right now.
From the board, I think I want to speak for everybody on the board. Thank you so much. It's been a
Thank you.
much needed improvement, and she has really grabbed the bull by the horns, and it's going to be spectacular.
Absolutely, thank you so much. And going forward, we are also going to have streaming videos of the meeting itself, and we hope to go national with this because there are a lot of supplier diversity managers nationally who are interested in our organization, and they will be joining us online. And thank you to Christine. So we are just testing it today. Thank you.
Christine, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Christina Iglesias. I'm with cSharp Video Productions. We're a video company in Milpitas, and we help small businesses and corporations with their lead generation videos and employee retention videos and productivity videos. Christina at cSharp Video. Yes. Oh, and also speaking of LinkedIn, we have a new package that involves a headshot and a 60-second video to post on your profile. So if you need more information, please contact me. Thanks.
She helps companies unlock the hidden potential of their teams in ways to improve profit, sustainability, and culture. She's been a business coach and consultant for 13 years, and before that, she had an impressive career at corporate America. She's been certified financial planner, divisional VP of sales for a Fortune 500 company, and a buyer with a reputation for being a turnaround expert for a major department store in New England. Does it rhyme with Gracie's? No?
No.
Okay. She is not only a leadership and business development coach, but also certified change management specialist, lean certified green belt, adept in combining coaching, training, project leadership skills, resulting in positively impacting gross revenues, team dynamics, and efficiency of hundreds of business areas within corporate as well as small business. So please join me in welcoming Johanna Lyman.
Thank you for that. I was impressed by that introduction. I guess I've done a lot of things in my years. And there's one thing that those of you who've been at these meetings before, you've heard me say this, but I always have to say that my reason for doing what I do is because I have an impossible mission to see peace on the planet before I die. And we can't have peace in the world without peace in our hearts. And we can't have peace in our hearts if we're miserable at work. So it's an impossible mission because there's no way I can do it myself. However, I do have a pretty grounded, practical, tactical strategy for making it happen. And it just involves getting a certain number of corporations that decide that they want to be a great place to work. And that's good for business, it's good for employees, so hopefully you'll join me in this impossible mission because I need help. So today we're going to be talking about communication styles. This is actually a little miniature version of one of our 10 or 12 training modules that we have around the topic of communication. So we're gonna, this might be a little bit awkward, but we're gonna do it anyways, and Will's gonna start us off. We're gonna play a game of telephone. Y'all remember that? From being a little kid?
Yes.
All right. So with telephone, with this game, because I made it kind of easy, speak it quickly into the ear of the person next to you. Faster, Will.
Speak loud, Will.
All right. So no. So now, if you can, Mark. Sorry, you guys can whisper it.
Because he's got to hurt.
He's got to hurt foot, so we won't make.
Come closer.
Come closer.
You gotta use
Faster. All right. Let's see how fast we can do this.
Purposely changed it.
When was the last time you played telephone?
Oh, man.
It's been a while.
It's actually a great thing to do at parties, like cookouts or something. It's just to keep things a little interesting. I didn't have a telephone. I did make it very easy.
And you're trying to confuse
This is a really good secret, Joanna.
What's that?
A really good secret.
All right, so then, yeah, so keep sharing it. So he needs to whisper it. Yep. And while the game of telephone is going on, because I want to just make people not so focused on what was that thing that she said. Has anybody had any kind of difficult communication ever? No, never. At work, at home, we all struggle to some degree or another with having clean communication, which I define by, say what you mean what you say, ask for what you want, don't be ambiguous, and be kind. So if you think about, those of you who are not doing the whispering yet, is there a theme between the trouble communicating that you've had over the years?
One.
All right, you guys are good. It was very, very close.
I think I might have messed it up because I didn't hear one of the words. So
You're so close that
Because Mark was busy doing something else.
so close, we'll call it, you guys get an A+ in telephone.
Oh, nice.
All right, now you were really focused on making sure you didn't mess it up. Which is good. It's always funny for me to see how this works. So think about when you have trouble with communication, is there a theme? What happens? How do you feel after a communication that doesn't go so well? And then do things get resolved? Or how many unresolved conflicts do you have, either with family members or people at work? And then when those unresolved issues start piling up, it becomes a really big problem because it erodes trust. And trust is essential to good relationships. So So we really talk about 5 key areas of communication. Communication styles, which we'll touch on today. Presence. What is the presence that you bring to your communications? Listening. How well do you listen? At what level do you listen? There's 4 levels of listening. Resolving and removing conflict. Who wants less conflict in their communications?
Not necessarily.
Always a contrarian. So, and a good point though, because conflict is not inherently bad. It's how we handle it that makes it, it can be really productive. Conflict can actually do great things toward preventing groupthink, which is really bad for organizations. So conflict is not inherently a bad thing. It's just how do you manage it? And then what my partner calls SBR, stop, breathe, respond. This is kind of a combination of presence and asking really great questions. And not listening at the level of just waiting for the other person's mouth to stop talking so that you can say the thing that you're imagining in your head. So today, obviously, we're just going to talk about the communication styles. And, oh, way too many words on the screen. So this communication style, which hopefully all or most of you have been able to take, this is a proprietary system that my business partner developed probably 12 or 14 years ago. And it's based on observable behavior. So one of the things that I hope you're going to get out of today's talk is a way to better understand the people in your life, at work, at home, particularly the folks that you have those difficult communications with. Like maybe it will help those get a little bit better. Helping your own, understanding your own style will help with your own self-awareness, help achieve better interpersonal relations. This is good stuff for, it doesn't matter if you're a business owner, if you're a salesperson, a sales manager, if you're managing other people, or even if you're not and you're just a regular human who's got other humans in their life. This is good for everybody. Can help you achieve some understanding that hopefully leads to sensitivity and greater tolerance for the other styles, work in progress, and obviously helps in all sorts of team environments. So, who had a chance to take the quiz either online or on paper? All right, so about half of you it looks like. How many directors were there? By show of hands? Any directors? Oh, that's a first. How many influencers? What? How many thinkers? Yeah, a lot of thinkers here. And how many helpers or supporters? Okay. Great. Thank you. That's really surprising. I've never done this talk and had half the styles not represented. It's really interesting. So when I go through those 2 styles, the director and the influencer, I want you to think about people in your life who may be those styles, and I'll model them because I work with them. So the dominant communication style is how you respond on a regular day-to-day basis when you're maybe under stress, and then there's a secondary style for all of us, and that's sort of how we hope to be in a perfect world, or how we are when things are going really well in our lives. So we all have a little bit, at least, of all 4 styles. So notice if you scored really low on one of the styles, like pay attention to what that style was, and when I'm going over the characteristics of them, see if you notice that, oh, right, this person that I have a lot of strife with is that communication style, so that explains I need to be more tolerant, more sensitive to how they give and receive information. So this is going to be slightly exaggerated just to highlight the differences between the styles. And, all right, so the first one that we're going to talk about, nobody here in the room except me is a director. Okay, so this is, when I'm on a mission, nothing stops me. All right, I am like a kind of a bull in a china closet. And I do think practically and consider the facts, but I also really trust my intuition. So it's a combination of, give me the facts, but give them to me fast. I don't need the backstory. I don't need all the data. Just give me the bottom line. And directors tend to be pretty competitive. Me, not so much. So these are folks like a lot of so celebrities like David Letterman, Gordon Ramsay, Simon Cowell,
Donald Trump.
He who shall not be named. We can be brash. I actually don't know, but I would guess that he's a director. I would guess that he's a director. No, you know what? He's probably an influencer. I don't really give it much thought. So with the directors, so does anybody who has directors in your life based on that description? Yeah. All right. So some of the pitfalls for being a director, for sure, we can come on too strong. We're like a bulldog. We sometimes don't listen to other people's opinions if we are not mindful in our own communication. It's like my way or the highway. And again, exaggeration. I'm not that mean in real life. And so what to do if you're a director, and I'll skim through this really quickly, is we've got to slow down, ask for advice, even if I think I don't need it. So if you'll know, like a director, I just had an interaction with a client a couple months ago that he's a director, and he said he's practicing getting advice from people, right? So he says to me, so what do you think about this? I'll tell you what I think. Is that really an open space for tell no? I'm like, all right, well, I already know what he wants me to say. Of course, I told him a different version of what he wanted to hear. But his team is like really intimidated by him. And we're working with him to help him be more mindful, help him, that was a teaching moment. Like, okay, you're not gonna get your best advice if you put your own thought first. So as a leader, this is just great advice no matter what style you are. If you're eliciting feedback from people, you want people's advice, Simon Sinek said it, I think, you go last. You don't give your opinion until everybody else has had their voice heard. Okay? This is particularly helpful if you work with a lot of introverts, which thinkers can often be introverts. And we don't like, I'm an introvert too though. We don't want to be the first one to give our voice. We don't want to be put on the spot sometimes for giving an opinion. Okay, then the influencer connector, which again, nobody here, that's my secondary style. Life of the party, super creative, really, really easy to see the big picture, and like in social situations, I show up big time as a connector. If I know that you're looking for a new engineer, I'm gonna like, wait, I just connected with somebody on LinkedIn who's an engineer and just got laid off. Okay, so that's how kind of the influencer's brain works, is how can I help you? How can I help everyone around me? Because we really believe that if we help other people, then we're going to get helped too. The rising tide lifts all ships. So famous influencers like celebrities like Will Smith, Eddie Murphy, Jim Carrey. The pitfalls of an influencer is that if it's your predominant style, is that you have so many ideas, you never get traction and get things done. Does anybody know anyone like that? My business partner is an influencer. It's a point of contention a lot. So they can come off as flighty and irresponsible sometimes, unreliable. So what influencers can do to sort of grow and develop is to add some structure to the routine. I did this with my business about 5 years ago. I was like, I'm just this businesswoman. I've been in business at the time for, I don't know, 7 years and had a good business, but had absolutely no structure. And, if I didn't feel like doing it, I didn't do it. And then I'd go on jags of like intensely working. I put a little structure around my business. I put a little container around it. And it wasn't a lot because I would have rebelled at that, but it was like certain days I had power hours and I blocked off a little bit of time for this. And I still do this, I had like a monthly to-do list. So there's 10 to 12 things on the to-do list every month. And when I get scattered, like, go to the to-do list, what can I do today? My business tripled in 6 months, putting that kind of container around the flightiness. So the other thing that an influencer can do is to take one idea that you've had. So if maybe an influencer is one of your secondary styles, like take one idea that's been on your plate for a long time and actually see it through all the way through to the end and just see what happens. That kind of consistency can really help ground you. The thinkers, which a lot of you in the room are, you do not make decisions based on emotions. You want facts. You want every available fact on the planet to make your decision. You do consider, like, not just past, not just present, we were talking about this earlier, but also, like, what are the future implications if we make this decision? So you're very, very thoughtful, very mindful. This tends to be one of the two most independent groups of styles, I should say. And so great analyzers, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, like a lot of engineers tend to be primarily thinkers. Not all of them, though, you might be surprised. So the pitfall with the thinker is that you can, especially as a business owner, you can do there's ready, aim, fire to get things done. You'll do the ready, aim, wake up, am I ready? Aim, and failure to launch sometimes. Okay? You can get caught up in analysis paralysis. So if you are interested in this, you can go back and like really look at the quiz again and ask yourself like to identify what your secondary style is, and then use the strengths of the secondary style to offset some of the weaknesses of the primary style. You can sometimes focus on the details at the peril of the big picture. Okay, so what to do is, one really good thing is remember that there's almost no such thing as an irrevocable decision. You make the decision, the best decision you can with the information you have, and move on. And if other information comes forward, you can change your mind. And I know that's hard to like really swallow as a thinker, like what? Why wouldn't I just do it right the first time? But if it's going to move a project forward, instead of being in that ready, aim place, then it's worth it. Take a small risk. Take a small personal risk maybe and see how that works, so that you can start to build the trust of yourself. So you can also practice kind of zooming out to the big picture. And what does this really mean, right? And then the other thing that I love to encourage thinkers to do is to practice tapping into your intuition, because thinkers tend to be very, what we would call intuitive. And what it really is that you're really, really good at pattern tracking. Okay, so you've got enough data in the gray matter to be able to make a really solid intuitive decision. And again, start small, practice with something that's got really low stakes, and then go with it and don't second guess yourself. That's a big pitfall with thinkers, that they're always second guessing. Like, oh, I don't know if I've got all the information. So practice honing your intuition as a way to expand your capacity as a human being. And then last but not least is the helper or the supporter. And we had a few of those in the house, right? All right, great. So the supporters, like you love working with other people. You absolutely love, love, love to make people feel good, to make sure that things run smoothly. Everyone needs a helper on their team, especially directors, but we need to make sure that we don't bulldoze over helpers. Not a risk taker. When I was a certified financial planner, our best assistants were this type. They were helper supporters, and not a risk taker, not in it for the money, not in it, like they just wanted to make sure that the clients felt happy. So management did an initiative trying to get the assistants to sell add-on products to the clients. And if they'd asked me about it, I would have said that will never work. Because that's not what motivates the helpers, right? What motivates helpers is helping people feel good. Okay? Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, those are a couple of famous helpers. The pitfalls of a helper is that you can overgive, and then your own well runs dry, and then you get pissed off. So you're like, I'm so nice, I hate you. So that overgiving can lead to burnout, resentment, a rare occasionally blowout, but you can feel taken advantage of if you're a helper, because you're just always the first person that people ask, can you help me with this? And you're the first one who jumps in and says yes. You can sometimes be seen as a pushover because you're so kind and so generous with your helping, but it comes at the expense of your own self. So the best thing that helpers can do is to practice strong boundaries. Practice saying no. And no is actually a complete sentence. Can you help me with this? No. That's a complete answer. It's really, really hard for supporters to have that. So again, practice maybe when it's low stakes. You know, it's not like, don't say no to your boss first time out. But boundaries are going to be your best friend as a helper. And in fact, I could just say for every single one of us, having strong, clear boundaries is one of the best things that we can do for our own personal growth and development and business growth and development, is to have really clear boundaries. Know what you're a yes to, what you're a no to, and why. That helps to know why. How are we doing for time?
I think we have about 7 minutes.
Okay, great. So, practice, practice, practice. I'm gonna open it up and have it be a little bit interactive for now. I was gonna make you guys do some improv fun games, but I'll pass because we all just ate and the room's not quite conducive to that. But so, based on what I've shared, and thinking back to one of those first questions I asked, like who in your life that you have difficult communications with or have had difficult communications in the past, like can you identify what type they probably are? Because this system is based on observable behaviors. So if somebody wants to, yes?
I have a question. So is it typically easier to communicate with like styles or with other styles?
That's a great question. It's typically easier to communicate with a style that's your style or your secondary style. And that's actually, thank you, he wasn't a plant, but that's like the most perfect question that you could have asked, because it's the basis of virtually every piece of communication that doesn't go the way we expect it to go, goes south because we expect people to be just like us. Okay, it's like, I expect that I can be really blunt with people and they're not going to be offended. right? Like, that doesn't go over so well with my helper friends. You're like, there you go again. Right, but that's why this training, and typically it's like a 3-hour training, and we get really interactive and help people practice with the opposite style or with different styles, so everybody gets a chance to kind of take on the role of the different styles, so that they can hear what it's like to receive information as a style that's different from them. And then that brings up so much more sensitivity and tolerance and just ease of communication, even if there is still conflict. It's like, it's not that combative, it's much more conscious. So, good question. Any other questions before I go?
So I have one.
Yes.
I heard you say you do a 3-hour. Is that the typical thing, or do you offer half day, full day, 3-hour, 1 hour, 2 hour? But is 3 hour the one that you really concentrate on?
So we've sort of modularized, not sort of, we have modularized our training so that we've got 11, I think it's 11 now, different communications modules.
Okay.
Each one is 2 to 3 hours long. And so based on the needs of the client, we'll sit down and say, we think you need, number 1, 3, 7, and 10. So we can come and do that in a day. That would be a long day, but or we can do it like one module at a time, and then just keep coming back every couple of weeks. We also cannot express the importance of practicing. So when we do this module, like we set up virtually half the training is practice. It's hands-on. So, and we have people like exaggerate the style, we have them try to be more subtle about their style, we have them try on other people's styles, and we give them situations where they get to have the conversation from the other people's seats. And it's uncomfortable a little bit, but it's really, really powerful. We found before we started doing that, it could go in one ear and out the other, and we'd come back a week later and they'd be like,
So follow-up.
So the follow-up, yeah.
How many, typically how many people would you have in a ideal setting for you to do a 3-hour?
Module is designed for 10 to 12 people.
Okay.
So if you've got more folks, then we just repeat the module with different cohorts.
Any downfalls? You can see I have another organization that I'm thinking might be useful. There's 8 people. That can still work.
That would still work, yeah.
Okay.
It's tough if it's fewer than 6. It wouldn't work so well in a group setting.
Right.
If that was the case, we'd probably recommend a combination of one-on-one coaching and some group stuff.
Okay.
How would you differentiate this from Myers-Briggs, StrengthsFinders, DISC, or some of the other behavioral assessments that are out there in the public domain?
There are some similarities. The biggest differentiator for us is that it's based on observable behavior. So once folks go through the actual training, they get really good at identifying the behavior. Imagine the impact if you're, let's just say you're a salesperson, right? And you can go into a client and identify within 3 to 5 minutes what style they are. You'll know how to talk to them. You'll know how they're thinking. You'll know their thought process. If you're in front of a thinker, you wouldn't insist that they make a decision on the spot. If you know that they're a director, you would not bring out your charts and graphs. You would just bottom line it for them. So we're not sales trainers. I was telling Jayati about this. We're not sales trainers, but it's really effective for sales. There's no area of life or business that it doesn't improve.
So when you mention observable behavior, so when we evaluate ourselves, would it be more effective if I worked in a team settings that have my team member evaluate me? Because it probably will be different when they evaluate me versus I evaluate myself.
Yeah, we often do that when we're working with teams. We have them do the actually a longer self-assessment when we're doing the training. So we have them do it from the perspective of how do they respond when they're when they're a little bit under stress, or if they're trying to get something done, like what's the go-to response? Because that's going to be the primary style. When I first took this test, I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But I was thinking about, like, in a perfect world, when I'm in my best place, and when I'm not stressed out, I'm an influencer, I'm a connector. But when and my business partner was like, go back and take it again, because we've known each other for 15 years. So, and when I did it that way, like, how do I respond in the heat of the moment? It was very clear that I was a director. So we'll have you take it both ways for yourself, thinking like under stress versus in a perfect world. And then we will we'll have your team members rate everybody too.
I think we have time for only one more question.
I think you.
I don't.
Maybe two more questions and then.
All right, two more questions.
Okay, I was just going to say real quick, like I've taken many of these all the way back, like Glenn said, Myers-Briggs, and mine has changed over time. Okay, so we didn't take the test here, so I'm a director.
Yeah.
But when I was working with a $13 million budget, I was a thinker. My secondary is the supporter, helper, which goes back to my HR stuff, which still is my secondary right now. And if none of you have ever taken these kind of courses, they're really great. I'm actually retaking another course here at the end of this month. I've gone to several of these. You learn something about yourself every time, and it just it's amazing, because when you understand these, it's like Johanna says, you can identify who you're talking to about, are they empathetic or are they a driver, and so forth. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you. And I would wonder if when you were in the thinker role, if that was out of necessity?
Yes.
To get the job done. But your style was still probably pretty directive.
Right, I was in a directive role, but I had to do the analytical.
Like, we can do it if we have to, but gosh, not so fun. All right, last question.
My question was along those lines. Can you slide into different areas, different communication styles, depending on what situation you're in and the skills that you use in that situation?
Yeah, I love that question. The more self-aware you are, the more you understand who you be and get more facile with communication techniques, the easier you can slide into the different roles. But that doesn't change who you are. I've taken like the Myers-Briggs, I think I took, and it changed in a 15-year period for me.
So will you be here? I don't want to squelch any more questions, but can you take some questions offline afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay, very much. Thank you very much. I now know that I can eat my dessert because my intuition tells me to do that.
Thank you, everyone.
So with that, I want to move on and let our MBDA representative, we have him on here as a tabletop, but Raymond, is it Al Young? Al Young. Al Young, very good. If you could come up, and I know you want to talk a little bit about MBDA and some of the programs you're working with. Okay, sure. I think you have to hold it pretty close for it to be effective.
Okay. Like Tim was saying, I'm with MBDA. We've been around for 9 years in Northern California.
Stands for?
Minority Business Development Agents.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that. So we are operated by Asian Inc. and our focus is procurement, supplier diversity. We've been working with California Water Association, and one of the reasons why I was here today is that, thank Megan for inviting me here, is that we have a contract with California Water Association to put together a series of events, 4 events this year. Our first one was in Sacramento, the second one was in Los Angeles, the third one was in San Jose, and the fourth and coming one is in San Diego. So I'm here to to help Water Association promote the event, and he didn't be kind enough to handle the work. So in many ways, like the SPDCs, we are the connectors, to help connect minority business owners with the prime contractors, teach them, help them with the certification process, how to bid for contracts and stuff like that. We, as the first alphabet under MBDA, is minority, so our restrictions is not to small business owners, but as long as you are a minority-owned business. We have 42 centers in the country, so we do not have any geographical barriers as to where we can go. We have clients in Seattle, we have clients in New York, Chicago, anywhere. So because procurement is our big focus, and procurement require more sustained business with the capability to bid for the job. So our focus is not so much on the startups, but for businesses with revenues and the capacity to do the job. And like I've mentioned, we have clients here like Nagent that has worked with our organization before, that we have helped get contracts. And a good example in our backyard is the BART extension project from Fremont to San Jose. That was a $900 million federal contract, and they set aside 30% of their goals to the disadvantaged business enterprises. So we help a lot of clients get certified, and a lot of our clients, as a result of that, were able to get contracts with BART. And because that that job was done partly by Skanska, so when Skanska awarded the LaGuardia Airport project in New York, so they also asked us, even though we are in the West Coast, to help them to get subcontractors. So that's what's the primary goal. And the second goal is access to capital. So once our client gets the contract, then they will need financing and stuff like that. So it goes hand in hand. So our focus more is on procurement. So that's on the construction side. But on the other side, on the private side, we also like partners and contact businesses with California Water Association. We have worked with Michael Chan, with Lockheed Martin. They have come to some of our events before many times over the years. So that's the supplier diversity part with the California, and numerous of our clients that attended the workshop, and they are very aggressive, California authorities, in their procurement goals, and some of the clients that have indeed got contracts from California Association as a result of that. And they were so active in the procurement supply diversity goal. We nominated one of Tim's colleagues, Jose Espinosa, as a minority supplier, and during the Minority Enterprise Week, which I think he actually went to the White House and shook hands with Trump. Tim can attest to that. It's true. It's true. It's not a make-up story.
It's all over LinkedIn.
It's on LinkedIn.
Okay. So the next event, so we're crazy. We have two events on the same day that I'm going to pass on. So, and the reason is that even though that's the thing, even though in my office we only have 3 people, but we have 42 centers, so we collaborate. That's why we always like to have partners, and we collaborate, with service providers like any of you who want to be a service provider. Because we strongly feel that for us to do a lot of jobs, big jobs, and to spread the word, we need to collaborate with other private organizations or other public organizations. So on that same day, so in the morning is the supply diversity event with California Water Association in San Diego. In the afternoon at 2 o'clock is in San Francisco, if you look at that. So that's the thing. So and that one is actually sponsored, you can't believe it, by Visit Shanghai from China. So I went to China last month and met with the delegates, and they were here. They signed the sister agreement with Cupertino, so I spoke to them and they invited me back. And business is all about, like you say, connecting and relationships. I mean, the relationship that they have, they were impressed with what we do at San Diego. So last year they had this event, Shanghai event in Vancouver, and because of our relationship, this year they're going to have it in San Francisco. And if you look at that, oh, I gave up every copy.
Yeah, I gave
let me have one copy, just in case. Okay. So there will be 3 delegates from Shanghai. So, I mean, right now we talk about not just domestic market, right? We have to think global. So it's important that, especially if you are in technology-related items, if you have a product IT, don't just think domestic market. Think globally. And they are very aggressive in China now with the One Belt, One Road policy. So anything to do with technology. And so there will be 3 delegates from Shanghai to talk about the investment environment in Shanghai. So for those who are interested in doing business with China, it will be a good chance to attend the event. Then we will have PG&E talk about renewable energy. We have Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and most importantly, Majan is going to talk about cybersecurity that day. So I think I should give her the support. And plug and play, which is huge. A lot of big companies that like PayPal, LendingTree, they graduated from plug and play. So actually, we are working with plug and play to have. Plug and Play is already in Shanghai, but we are also working in other cities to have Plug and Play over there. So we focus now on export initiative too for MBA is to try and help how to open your markets, because export is the fastest way to grow. Because when you're dealing with overseas markets, you're not talking about few $100. You're talking about container loads and huge market over there. So we should all think globally when you talk about business. And I'm around in San Jose, so if you want to talk more about the business, how to go globally, I'd be glad to talk to you about it. Okay. And then after the event on that day, we also have once a year Asian, our operator, we have like a holiday party. So we will also provide dinner for you, on that day. So those are the 2 events that I want to let you all know, and hope that you all wish to attend. And again, thank you all for inviting me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I know California Water Association has had several events, and this being the 4th one coming up in San Diego. And I attended the San Jose one, and it really very, very well put together.
Right.
And I think a lot came out from that. So thank you again. I'm going to ask Mark Alban to make some closing statements, and you can fill in the blanks with anything that I might have forgotten, as well as your usual finishing out with our program.
All right, thank you, Tim.
You don't need this, right? You do.
I'll use it just so the people in the back don't have any excuses. So, I always like to ask at the end of our meeting, is there anybody that's done business with someone in the group or because of a relationship with someone in the group that we haven't heard from before?
I like to say that I've been a member of ICSBD for a long time. And this is where I met Raymond's organization, MBDA, a few years back. And through that relationship, have ended up with a contract that I have with Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. So this is a wonderful place to be members and connect with people. And I may have a lead over in Lockheed Martin, and have been talking to Bob, and he's been wonderful. Just like Michael Chang supporting a lot of us small businesses. So, like I said, this is a wonderful place, and we do business with each other. Parlay, we get promotional stuff. I'm the IT for Hillview Printing right there, IT for Giuliani, IT for, we're the IT for 3 of the MBDA offices. So it's wonderful to be able to connect and do business with each other as well as doing business with the large corporations.
So anybody else have some business they'd like to report or a business meeting?
Mark, I can tell you one thing that I'm going to do, and I've already done is, Johanna, I've taken your information, I've already sent it to a group of people that I meet with, and I sent a picture of your website and a we have any copy of what's going on here, we'll send that to them. We have a group of people who get together, and I thought, can't guarantee, but when you walk out the door and you do things like this, that's the sort of thing that happens. It might not guarantee success, but your word is being spread around. So, yeah.
So Will shared something with me that I wanted him to share with everybody else.
Sure,
Put him on the spot.
I love the spot. My name is Will Hart with Smart Simple Marketing, and my first meeting here was August. And I met Mark, told him what type of work our company does, and he made introductions to 2 people at Cisco. And even though they didn't respond to his email, I saw them at an event in Detroit and got to meet them in person. And so it's nice to make connections like that. I don't meet people to try to do business. I meet people to make connections. And he helped me with that, so that was great.
He left out that they wanted to hear more about what he does, and so he's going to have a follow-up meeting. And Dennis has something he wants to tell about. I'll meet you halfway.
Actually, it's about a past event. I wanted to thank all of you that participated in Festival, our small business resource fair. I hope that you found it worthwhile. It is about connecting. We had, the report I got yesterday, 1,936 diverse small businesses participated, not counting the 90 exhibitors. So that's the first time we broke over the 2,000 mark. I was hoping that 1,000 would come. I was joyous, except for the parking lot issue.
They need to have a
about bringing people to connect. So for those of you that did come, thank you. I hope you found it to be worthwhile. And hopefully we can collaborate even more in the future.
Absolutely.
Mark hasn't said that I gave him a lead. I don't know where it went, but I definitely walked along to one of my clients, right? And I know he was working it. I don't know where it went, but it's good to pass things along.
Yay. It is. Thank you, Glenn. And they keep saying they want to meet, but not going to put too much pressure on. So. Anybody else? Business? Okay.
Collaboration instead of just business. So Mason recently called me, and Mason, Jayati, and I were collaborating on the PG&E contract. And so I think that we have the IT, we have the software, and the insurance. So I think we have all the expertise in the room to go after PG&E contract.
Very good. Awesome. It's all about connections and meeting people, trusting them. We didn't talk about the contract. We were just talking about the actual RFP, how to get successful.
Very good. Excellent. We have one more.
Okay, so just real quick, like follow up on what Dennis talked about Festival. I've been going to that for 5-6 years, whenever it first started. It's been a long time, and that was my reconnection with Indu and Machen. I hadn't seen them for 4 or 5 years, probably. So, and that's how I ended up here.
Yeah, Dennis. All right, thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, because of Indu, I'm here. I started business in 2008, and she hired me as a videographer under her company. And if you have an opportunity to thank someone, it's great to take the opportunity, and I appreciate your support for my business.
There you go. All right, thank you. Okay, so I will close with reading our Industry Council mission. The Industry Council facilitates and advocates business relationships between large, small, diverse businesses to promote commerce, procurement opportunities, and educational development. And hopefully you learned something today. Johanna, thank you again. Hopefully that was helpful.